Hi, this is Jordan Moorhead, and this is the Austin Real Estate Investing Podcast. Today we have Greg Carlson, a veteran and a real estate expert in Austin, who's going to tell us all about his experience helping others invest in real estate in Austin and also investing in real estate in Austin himself. Hey, Greg, how you doing?
Oh man, I'm having a fired up Wednesday right now. A wonderful Wednesday.
That's
Thanks for
awesome.
asking. How about
Great,
yourself?
great to
Yeah,
hear.
yeah.
Absolutely. Great day here
Thanks.
too.
Yeah.
Greg, before we get too deep into things, most important question we ask here on the podcast, what is your favorite restaurant in Austin?
Oh, snap. My favorite restaurant that I have not been to yet is Jeffrey's. And the favorite restaurant that I've been to is, if I just because of the memories that I've had there and great conversations is North Italia.
Hmm.
I can't explain why. It's not like off the chart food or anything, but I think just because the great times I've had there with friends, that's my favorite.
Absolutely. Which location's your favorite?
The downtown location. Yeah.
Downtown. Love it. We
Yeah.
love that place too. So real quick, Greg, for everybody listening, who are you and how are you involved in real estate in the Austin area?
All right. All right. Yeah. So I've been in the real estate industry for 7 years. I got my brokerage license at the year 4 mark.
Mhm.
I'm over here at Keller Williams Realty Market Center #1, the first original Keller Williams office, part of the Agent Leadership Council. And what else? Real estate investor. And recently, which I'm super proud of, I just became a coach with Forward Coaching.
Oh, cool. So obviously we'll talk about the real estate investing, but what is forward coaching? What do they do?
Yeah, Forward Coaching is for real estate agents that want to elevate their mindset and their business.
Mm. Okay. So you help real
Yeah,
estate agents obviously be better agents.
that's exactly right. Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
And the reason I did
Um,
that is because real quick here. The reason I did that is because I saw what real estate can do for people's lives to see what it's done for mine. So if I can help other people do that too in any way, it's like, man, that gets me gassed up. So that's why I decided to do that.
that's awesome. What do you invest in the Austin area too? I know you invest in some real estate too.
Yeah, yeah. So right now I've got they're all single family residences, and they're all well, I've got one long-term rental at the airport. I've got my primary residence, which will be a short-term rental, actually. It will be. I've got the
Mhm.
permit. And then I'm under contract for a condo at the St. Elmo district right now,
Mm.
which is expected to be one of the most popping parts of the town once everything's fully developed over there with with what do they call that? The St. Elmo Market. Looking
Mm.
forward to that big
Yeah,
time.
there's
Yeah.
lots of cool stuff over there. That's going to be really exciting.
Heck yeah.
Greg, what got you started investing in real estate? Obviously, you're an agent, but what interested you investing in real estate? Because I know most agents actually don't invest.
Dude, I became an agent so I could invest. Okay. After the military, I was in college just because it didn't make sense not to go to college because the GI Bill covered it. So
Mhm.
I'm in the military, go off to school, and I just started reading extracurricular books. I don't know how or why it happened. Reading about investing and wealth building, and I was like, wow, something that's kind of calling me for some reason. It sounded like a next grand endeavor. So I said to myself, if I'm going to invest, how do I want to do it? Is it paper assets? Is it businesses or is it real estate? And I was like, real estate. Why? Well, because I can make a living while I'm learning about making those investments. I said, let's go for it. That's it. So
Mhm.
as soon as I graduated school, moved to Austin, got my real estate license, and off we went.
Nice. And where were you before? I know you were in the were you in the military?
Oh,
But you think you mentioned it, but where were you in the military?
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So right out of high school, actually about a year after high school, I went into the Navy,
Hmm.
and I was stationed in the Great Lakes area for BUDS prep training. basic underwater demolition school training, and then off to San Diego for BUDS, which is the SEAL program. I was there for a couple weeks, and then my hip went kapow, and then I had surgery, but then I got a desk job at the Special Warfare Center, which was good because I wanted to be in that environment still so I could learn from them. And then school, once I left the military, was back in New York, about 20 minutes north of Manhattan.
Okay. So you were east to west coast and back to the east coast?
Yeah, a little bit in the middle, of Chicago.
Oh,
Eight
yeah,
months.
Great
Chicago.
Lakes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was any sort of military operations in the Chicago area. So that's it. A new news to me.
It's there's only one Navy boot camp location, and that's it.
Really?
Huh. Yeah. I think the Army's got a bunch of different boot camp locations. Yeah.
So you got started getting interested in real estate investing while you were in the Navy or while you were going to college on the GI Bill. You got into working as an agent. And then when did you start investing? How many years as an agent did you start investing?
As soon as I started making money, it was year 4. Year 4.
Okay.
Well, wait a minute. So got my license 2017. Year 3. Bought my first house 3 years after. 3 years. Yeah.
That's awesome. What's the biggest mistake you would say you've made in real estate investing, Greg?
Dude. Oh my gosh. So I offloaded a property that I had in New Orleans on the waterfront that I was dear to my heart. I was so excited to buy this house, man, and put it on the Airbnb market. I spent months on end reading books. I read about 8 books, start to finish, about Airbnbs. I took a bunch of notes, got the spreadsheets, took the classes online, all this stuff. And then I was like, okay, I'm ready to go look. And then I spent months looking at properties, analyzing deals. And then I finally found this one house where the numbers made so much sense. I was like, this is it. Yes. So I called the realtor. Hey there, thinking about putting an offer on this property. Can I put it on Airbnb? And with the utmost confidence, here's the answer to your question right here. With the utmost confidence, this agent said, of course I can put it on Airbnb. Well, there's a little bit of underlying nuances there, okay? Such as it needs to be a homestead.
Yeah.
Which means I need to have my driver's license and my address there. Now, I told this agent that it was going to be a second property of mine. I live here full time and run a business here full time. You know what happened? They just didn't know. They just didn't know. And so I bought the house, fully furnished it, 2,700 square feet with the deck furniture and the games and make it fun for the Airbnb guests, paint it, contractors, whatever. Time to get that license? Nope. Adios. Wow. And I just closed on it. I sold it. Yeah, man. Sold it about probably 30 days ago at this point.
Okay. So when did you buy it? Well, when was your initial closing date?
I bought it about 18 months ago.
Okay. So you bought it 18 months ago and you just sold it a month ago. So you had to carry the mortgage for a year and a half, roughly?
Yes, I did. Yes. I rented it out 3 times, a month at a time, because anything over a month is not short term. And then, but that didn't do anything. The electric bill in that house was roughly $600 a month, which is crazy. It's crazy. I don't know what's going on in New Orleans, but that electric bill is insane.
Yeah. That is insane. So I think if I'm understanding what you're inferring, listening to the agent and not doing your own research was kind of the biggest issue there. But then the economics
that was the biggest mistake.
Okay.
That was the biggest mistake. I took the agent's word as opposed to looking into it myself.
Yeah, that's rough.
I know that. Well, it's just because go ahead.
That's rough. That's tough. Hard to deal with.
Yeah. And it's because that, when I got a client, I'm not like, I don't tell them, yeah, of course you can. I don't speak on things that I don't confidently know the answer to. That's bad business. That's a primary way to get bit. Don't do it.
Mhm.
Nope. Yeah.
And I think you're right. Most agents, if they don't know the answer, they're not going to tell you something. Um, that maybe that agent thought you could, but obviously didn't know for sure. And that cost you a lot
For
of money,
sure.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Oh, it costs a lot of money, man. It
Yeah.
costs a lot.
That's rough. So how does that make you
Yeah.
feel about other short-term rentals? Maybe does that scare you off a little bit from short-term rentals?
Great question. No, it doesn't,
Okay.
because I know that you can get 3 to 5x on a return as opposed to a long-term rental. Okay?
Mm,
Plus, I enjoy that aspect of business. Period. I enjoy like being a host
mhm,
and making my short-term rental special. I enjoy the competitive aspect of it. Right? What if there's like 3 right down the road? Well, how can I make mine different and more fun? Right? That
mhm.
stuff gets me going, man. So it's only a matter of time before I get another one.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, we had an awesome short-term rental host here in Austin that just came on and talked about the new, more relaxed short-term rental regulations in Austin. His name's Lucas Piper. You should definitely check out that episode. But yeah,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
can be great investments. I've had good luck with them, and I know a lot of people on this podcast have had great luck with them. So
yeah.
they can be awesome.
It's
Like you said, if you have a great experience, people love coming.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, it's just like, oh, me and my girlfriend broke up. Are you not going to get another girlfriend because of that one time? No, no, you keep getting it. You keep going.
It's a great
Yeah,
analogy.
yeah.
Greg, if you had to start real estate investing over today, is there anything you would do differently? So let's say 2017, when you got your license, obviously you're interested. Anything you do differently from when you started investing?
Mm. So we're gearing this towards investment specifically. Oh,
Mhm,
yes, I plug myself into consistent investor meetups.
mm,
Consistent. Okay, from the get-go, get licensed, boom, go to the even pre-license. Second, you
mhm,
say I'm going to get into real estate, book your calendar with investor meetups that are consistent, because you want to continue to get that face time with those same people. You're going to learn a ton, because these are people with experience, and that is worth its weight in gold. It's invaluable almost. I mean, really. So to hear those people talk, hear what they look for,
mhm.
because if you don't, where are you going? You're going on YouTube and looking. You're reading books. You can't beat that real life experience talking to people that have done it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
especially in your local market too. I think that's so important because every market's so different. What works here in Austin might not work in New Orleans or might not work in Baltimore. So if you're in a local market and you're listening to podcasts or YouTube or reading books that aren't about that specific local market and what's working right now, I think that's just such good advice. So go to local meetups. Most of the time they're free, which is also good. And there's people there that are actually doing deals. So, if you're talking to people that are doing deals in this local market right now, you're going to get the experience of what works and what doesn't and how to get it done.
it's going right to the source. That's
Hmm.
right. Yep.
That's never had that advice on the podcast here, but I think that's probably the best advice you could get for something that's completely for free and anybody can do.
Mhm.
Greg, what are your long-term goals for real estate investing and where do you see yourself going with that?
Yeah, yeah. So a minimum of 2 properties per year for the next 30 years.
Okay. Wow.
And the reason I set that goal is because it's possible to do it.
Mhm.
It is. Okay. And at the end of the 30-year mark, the numbers come out to roughly 40 to $50 million net worth if you started today. So 40 to 50 million net worth in 30 years. I'll be 30, I'll be 64 years old,
Yeah.
64, retiring, doing anything I want, whenever I want, with whoever I want, just because
Mhm.
I'm buying stuff. And who doesn't like to
Yeah.
buy stuff, right? I like buying stuff. I'm gonna go buy
Yeah.
some houses.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. Great. Yeah, man. So, and I would encourage anybody to figure out how to do that. There's all kinds of literature out there. If when it comes to funding these deals, things like that. So,
Mhm.
yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, and that's such an achievable goal. Like you said, you can buy 2 houses a year, but I loved how you outlined doing it over a long period of time and the compounding wealth that produces. Over 30 years, 2 houses a year. I would say you'll at least hit that. You said $30 million?
40 to 50. 40 to
40,
50.
yeah,
Mhm.
easily 40 to 50. Let's say you do that in Austin and they're
Oh,
$400,000 a
whew.
piece right now. No problem.
Ah,
Are you going to hit 50?
exactly. And it's fun, right?
Yeah.
It's not boring. I don't know. For me, like stocks and like checking my phone, looking at my stocks, whatever. It's not like that exciting to me, but it might be to some, right? Like Warren Buffett loves that stuff, right? You can tell
Mhm.
he loves it. He's great at it. But for me, I just something about real estate excites me. Going out there,
And,
looking at properties.
and I think something that's so exciting about real estate too is the wealth that's built there is tax sheltered in so many ways, especially for real estate professionals like us. We can take unlimited depreciation and put that against our income. So if you have 30, 40, 50 properties, you're probably paying next to nothing a year in taxes, even if you're making a good income as a realtor or a real estate professional of any sort.
Yes, yeah, the tax incentives, advantages are endless. I mean, you hit the nail on the head. Can't forget about that stuff. But then that brings me to another point. We talked a little bit about lessons. I know
Mhm.
you didn't plan on asking me this, and I feel like I should share regardless.
Go ahead.
Getting getting a tax professional. There are so many different niches, like estate planning tax professional, a CPA that simply files the taxes, a tax strategist. Okay, there's a lot of those different variations, and also interviewing one that knows real estate specifically
Mhm.
is huge. But once you get a good one, treat them like gold. And they're going to treat you like gold.
Yeah, and I think you make such a good
Interview.
point there because so many people think your CPA is just going to give you all this advice, and that's not really their job. And you said it right there. Their job is to file your taxes. Their job is not to
To,
plan out everything for you.
yep, yep. They don't come up with the strategies. Like, let's say you want to get pre-approved for because you can't show zero income, or else you're not going
Mhm.
to get a mortgage for anything, right?
Hmm.
So you
Mhm.
got to have this conversation with somebody that's going to be able to relate to it and come up with a plan that makes sense for what you're doing.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, I love that. That's great advice too, and something people don't talk about a lot is, the CPA is not your advisor. They're your accountant, and it's their job to file returns for you. It's not to sit down with you January 1 and say, hey, what are we going to do with taxes this year? How do we put it together where you can get approved for what you want? Obviously, if you find a really good one, you have a really good relationship, you'll get some of that from them, but they get busy. They can't do everything.
Exactly. They get super busy. And then
Mhm.
the estate planning piece talks about, so you got the planning side. What about the protection side?
Mhm.
Don't you want to protect your assets? Talk to an estate planner, and they're gonna go ahead and tell you like what entity you should put this investment property under, right? Or how to shelter your wealth so that's protected, right? All these little things. It goes very deep, but we'll just leave it there for
Yeah.
today. Yeah,
Yeah, no, reach out to an estate planner or reach out to, tax strategist and figure this stuff out. And obviously you want a great CPA, but you need some other help there too. And I think that's really cool you mentioned that because that does not get talked about a lot.
got you.
Greg, do you have a favorite book that you like to recommend to people?
Yeah, it's called it's Grant Cardone. And it's called Be Obsessed or Be Average. Fist bump.
Great,
Yeah,
great
it's
book.
one of those. Yeah, yeah, especially the audio because when he's talking, he's the one delivering it, which is great. I love when the author actually does the audiobook. he's a fired up guy. He is.
Mhm.
So you're listening to him first thing in the morning on your drive to the office, and you're just like, whoa, I'm gonna get after it.
Awesome.
Definitely recommend it.
I didn't know he read that too. I do. Same with you. I like it when the author reads.
Yeah, it's more impactful for some reason. It's like the delivery is just more like we got the emotion going into it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's their words, and it's cool to see them reading it. Greg, what's the best way for people to get a hold of you?
Yeah, at Greg Carlson on Instagram. Hit me up on that. Send me a direct message if you want to chat about anything. If you want to talk about mindset in general, right? Even if you're not looking to get in the real estate space, you just want to talk about mindset, mental toughness, thinking big, all that stuff. Always here to chat and help.
Okay. So that's at Greg Carlson on Instagram. Just
Yep.
all one word. Okay.
That's it.
Awesome.
Yep.
All right. So Greg, thank you so much for coming on. At Greg Carlson on Instagram. I am at Jordan Moorhead on Instagram. I'm sure I will see you here soon.
Let's do it. I'll see you in the hallway. Hey, good to see you, brother.
Absolutely.
Have a great
Good to
day.
see you too. You too.
Thanks for having me on. Ciao.
Bye.
Bye-bye.